Directly after I graduated from high school, I think I had just always intended to go to college, and I never planned for anything other than going directly into college after graduating. And there was an expectation on my part and from my parents that I would go to college, and we always assumed that that's what I would do. Well, I had one older sister. She's 4 years older than I am, and she also went to college right after high school. And she's a super bright, very gifted student, and she actually got her bachelor's degree in 3 years. And so that really gave me the confidence to say, hey, I think I can do that as well if she could do it. She kind of paved the way for me and really inspired me. And then my parents as well. You know, neither one of them had their college degrees, but my mother actually went back and got her GED from high school at a later date. And I remember being with her, being probably 5 years old, and going with her to her GED classes. And that really inspired me too. If she could, you know, drop out of high school and then go back after having 2 children and get her GED, that was really encouraging for me. I think I had really big dreams in high school of going somewhere really, really exotic and far away from home. I grew up in a really small town in rural Kansas. There were about 900 people in my hometown. I had 14 students in my graduating senior high school, and I would get all of these really beautiful glossy view books from other colleges in the mail, from Tennessee or Florida. And I remember just sitting in my room and looking over them and looking at all the great pictures and thinking that would be super awesome to go someplace so far away from home. But then reality and finances kind of set in, and I ended up getting a really great scholarship package from an institution, a state institution that was about 30 miles from home. And that's where my older sister had gone as well, and I had lots of friends who went there. And it was close to home, and it was really good for me to have that support of family close by if I needed it. So that's where I ended up attending. Got my undergraduate degree from Emporia State University in Emporia, Kansas. Everything was really new to me. One of the things that did happen that I was able to take advantage of that helped me out was that I was offered a job as a student worker in the financial aid office at the college where I went, and I actually started there the summer before my fall classes started. So that gave me a really great opportunity to make some connections with faculty and staff, learn to talk to faculty and staff and feel comfortable approaching them. I also learned my way around campus, so I wasn't quite so nervous finding my classes when school actually started. But that was a really good experience for me and kind of got my feet wet and got me, you know, acclimated to a campus environment, so that was good for me. But the challenge of actually being in classes and making my own schedule, having higher expectations for the coursework that I was doing, was a really big shock to me, and it took me a while to get adjusted to that and get used to it. One of the other things that I really enjoyed during my first year in college was the ability to take the different general education courses that were offered to me, and just opened up a whole new world of experiences that I was just amazed with art appreciation, sociology, psychology. All of this was brand new to me, and it was really exciting for me because then I felt like I was starting to make some connections between different theories that I was learning in classes, and I felt like I was building this really great knowledge base. So that was super exciting to me. Things like Marxism would come up in sociology class, and then it would come up again in a literature class or even in a biology class, and making those connections was really interesting for me. And classes like art appreciation, that was entirely new to me. I loved it. I never would have thought I would have enjoyed something like that, but having that experience of those new courses was great. I also started off as an accounting major and took a major course very early on and really quickly figured out that that was not going to be for me. So I was glad that I got my feet wet in accounting early on and figured out this was not the way that I was going to go. So ended up changing my major to English literature, which was a totally different change, but that was great. So yeah, first year trying to figure out my money and my finances and planning my own time, that was really different for me. I think there were many times when I first started in college, I have this vague memory of kind of sitting around and thinking that everybody else had some sort of secret college training that I didn't get, and I didn't know what the lingo was. I didn't know what the acronyms that people were using were. I didn't know what a credit hour meant or what it meant to have a 15-hour per week per semester schedule. Just little things like that I just didn't have a general awareness of. And it really took me some time to feel comfortable, to feel like I was a college student on the same level with everybody else. Also, the first time I got a really bad grade on a paper, it was heartbreaking for me. I was so accustomed to being successful in high school. It was a real shock to get that bad grade back, and I can still remember it was a C- on a geology paper, and I was horrified, but that really let me know this is completely different from what you've experienced before, and the expectations are much higher for you now than they were in high school. So that was a huge challenge for me. Also, the money issue, it was big. I had my own money now. I had my own apartment, my own place, my own food. This was all brand new to me, so trying to figure that out and set up a budget, it was really challenging. Very stressful times, you know, down to my last couple of bucks in my checking account and not knowing what to do. And also just trying to take care of myself and be healthy out on my own, getting enough sleep, eating healthy. That was all new to me because nobody was there to do it for me. I definitely think that being a first-generation student myself, I have a better awareness of what students are coming in with when they're starting college, and I try to be very sensitive to the fact that you know, they may not know all of the acronyms and the information that we're throwing at them early on. So I'm just really sensitive and aware that students are coming in from a variety of backgrounds and levels of understanding when they're starting college. I try to make sure that I'm approachable to students, and I usually take a little bit of extra time with students, and if they're coming into my office and they need help or they need directions, I don't just send them off and say, you know, go down the hall 2 doors to your right and hope somebody's there to answer your questions. I actually get up with them and walk with them down the hall because they're new to campus and they don't know, you know, they don't know their way around or they don't feel comfortable approaching other people. So I just take a little bit of extra time with my students and try to help them out. I'm teaching a UK 101 class this fall, and it's been a great experience for me to interact with students and really understand where they're coming from. I also think, you know, I try not to talk over their head, but, you know, let them feel really comfortable, because I think students need that, and they need not necessarily a mentor, but they need to feel like there's at least somebody who's got their back that they can go to who, you know, understands. Over the past year, I have been working to build a searchable scholarship website. So students, parents, high school counselors can now go to this website and use this tool, put in their basic information about their hometown or their home county, their college and major, and then they'll get a list of all of the different funds that they might be eligible to apply for, with deadlines and due dates, just general information, contact information for the awards, application links. So at least I feel like everyone will kind of have a central place to go to if they just want more information, rather than sending students and parents off in, you know, several different directions and websites to go get more information. So it just launched recently, and we're just going to keep making it better. I'm super excited about it. I think I would tell students that to really take advantage of all of the opportunities that are offered to them. UK does a great job with our first generation students. We have dedicated UK 101 academic orientation courses for them, lots of student clubs and organizations, lots of opportunities for them to make connections with other people, with faculty and staff members. And honestly, I feel like the more connections that students make with individuals, the better their chances for success are. Whether it's, you know, knowing somebody in financial aid to go to if you get in trouble, or having a faculty member who can help you get started with undergraduate research, or a group of friends that you run around with, or a club or organization. Anything that students can do to make that connection and feel like they belong here and have some people to fall back up, as a backup resource if they get into trouble or want to explore things further. That's a great resource for them. I would also tell first generation students at UK to just be really mindful of their money and their budget. I think that's a huge challenge for any student coming in, but probably more so for some of our first generation students. A lot of times for some of these students, this is the first time that they've been responsible for their money. They may have financial aid or scholarship checks coming in, and it's not always clear how they're going to plan their budget or what they should do with their funds. So I just tell them to get educated and make a plan, have a budget, work with the folks in student billing and student account services and financial aid, and get to know your way around campus and know the different administrative offices that can help you out. I think a lot of students don't necessarily realize that there are so many resources available to them. We have some great offices and help available for them in the Dean of Student Affairs area that they can go to for help. So just being aware of everything that's out there and taking advantage of it.